Hello and welcome back. It's Wallpaper57, Pyrocaster, Antminer, and L Jules. I will be showing you how to jungle, just like generally jungling. My jungler of choice is KhaZix because he's OP, basically. Introduce yourself, guys.
I prefer Elise.
No.
The jungle. I'm Antminer, person playing Caston.
L Jules is playing Trundle.
Today we're going to be introducing the concepts of different roles.
Yeah, so we've got a top laner, a solo top laner, which is L Jules playing Trundle. Tell a joke.
Troll.
That is actually a joke because Trundle is a cursed troll. I should be fine with this, thanks.
Ow.
No stealing of my farm, thank you.
Dave, will you need help with blue soon?
Blue I could take by myself.
Okay, fair enough.
Because unlike most junglers who start wolves then blue, he starts
Wraiths,
Wraiths.
then blue. Right, so my basic jungling pattern, for those who don't know, basically, although we introduced it in a different video, I'll run back over it here. This is Wraiths here.
Minions have spawned.
This is Wolves here. This is blue buff. This is red buff. And this is Golems. Most minions spawn at 1 minute 40. As you can see in the top right.
big ones, the red buff and blue buff spawn mid 150s.
An important note for jungling. For goodness sakes, don't forget Smite. Please do not forget Smite. Smite is a fairly low cooldown summoner spell, which deals instantaneous true damage to any enemy minion or pet. Very useful for jungling.
New don't forget bots.
There are very few people who can do jungling without Smite, and I wouldn't recommend doing jungling without Smite anyway.
Because then you have no buff control if your buff gets contested in a PvP game, which this isn't. You can't smite it away.
Yeah, I might add, this is not a PvP game. So some of what we say may not...
Because we don't want people raging.
We don't want people raging, and we want to make sure that the bots actually... Well, we don't have any bots, so...
On our team, so we don't end up with any misfortune mid as well as
Yeah.
my Caston.
Right, so you just saw me take blue buff, that's Crest of the Ancient Golem. It gives me basically ridiculously increased mana regen and cooldown reduction on my moves, which is exceedingly nice. Because it basically means that I can spam everything.
Lanes we stopped at jungler. Say 80 carries and stuff.
Most people can jungle, but it's pretty hard to do. Right, would you like a gank top at some point?
Yes.
In pub, jungler, gank.
Ganking is the process of going into a lane with the intent of killing the people in it.
First,
No!
Good job there. It basically gives your team quite a big advantage.
has been slain.
Especially when people are being stupid like me.
Has been slain.
Yeah.
Or have high ping like me.
So yeah, this is going fantastically well.
Basically, I'll appear to fail until I hit level 6.
Yeah.
And I can blink everywhere.
For some characters, they have a very pivotal level as such. KhaZix's one is generally around level 11.
I'm a hyper carry, which means that I get powerful, really powerful.
That's not a popular ganking.
This is me attempting to gank and not doing very well.
And I'm casting, so I happen to fall in pre-level 6 laning phase. Especially against people with lots of range poke like Ash.
Right, go for Rise. Nice. That's me leaning out the bush on top of his face and owning it. For those who couldn't see what blatantly happened there.
And me stopping him from escaping.
Yeah, that was very nice. Trundle is cool in the aspect that he's got a ridiculous slow, which also creates impossible terrain.
seals people's the resist, so magic
He
resist
basically
arm.
seals people's fate, effectively, in a team fight. Now, I should probably go over what you get first. You get Hunter's Machete and 5 health potions. This is because, unless you're a very specific jungler, this is because otherwise you will be killed. It is literally as simple as that. If you don't do this, you will be killed horribly.
Unless you're Nunu, because then
Or
you...
Fiddlestick.
Yeah, there are very few junglers who can go without Hunter's Machete and 5 health pots. There are even fewer junglers who can go without health pots, Machete, and Smite.
There's like no junglers.
Nunu is the only one that I know of that can do such a thing. Primarily because of his Q, which is basically
It's a smite,
it's
which
effectively a smite that is more powerful than smite and heals him.
it's okay.
It's OP.
Level 1 it does 500 to true damage.
Jungling, choose Nunu. He's only a 450 champ.
Yeah, if you're gonna jungle, choose Nunu. He's probably one of the easiest challenges to play in the league, apart from Yi. For God's sake.
Just you'll get people yelling at you for being noob if you play Yi,
Yeah,
which he requires no skill whatsoever.
most of them will be me. Just saying.
And if you're ever unfortunate enough to be in a game where with David on your team and you're losing, be warned, he can get angry.
Yeah. Have fun with that. Would you like a gank mid or another gank top?
An enemy has been
I would assume that
slain.
would be another gank top. But yeah, just bear in mind that if your laning partner dies, for God's sake, go and help out their lane. Because,
I'll be fine now on level 6.
yeah. So, Ant-Mine is okay at the moment because basically he's hit level 6, that gives him his ultimate, which is overpowered as hell.
Without it, he would be severely underpowered, and
Yeah.
no one would play him at all.
And without my ult, no one would play me either. Because basically, my ult stealths me for 1 second and gives me 40% movement speed while I'm stealth. Which isn't the good bit. You just saw me evolve a move. Basically, passively, whenever I rank up my ultimate, I gain the chance to evolve one of my 4 abilities. Which gives it an extra effect. Oh, sorry, I was trying to give you damage.
Don't worry.
Nice.
Yep. Thank you.
Right. So, it's basically playing as jungle, you shouldn't take kills. I mean, there's a degree in it which is if there's no one else in your lane to take the kill, then obviously take it.
If it's take it or they'll get away, take it, but if possible, let the person have it.
An enemy has been
Nice.
slain.
Because your job as a jungler is to give your lanes as big a advantage as possible.
Yeah. The jungler is mainly around controlling things. Do you want blue buff?
Yes.
Give
Right, that's what's called giving buffs. Basically, you give buffs to your champions in lane so that they can do better in that lane. It basically gives them a slight advantage.
Mid laners are all normally AP. They rely on their abilities, which require mana. But blue buff gives them increased mana regen, so
There
it's
we go.
an enormous help for mid laners.
Therefore, you give your mid laners blue buff. So
Normally at the second blue buff, not
yeah,
the first.
you don't tend to give people first blue buff. First blue buff is
Required for you to get through the jungle.
it's basically almost needed for most jungle champs. Again, with the exception of Nunu because of his overpowered passive. Nunu's passive every 5 basic attacks he gains a free spell cast. He can theoretically stay in jungle indefinitely. I'm coming top lane. Close enough. Oh,
An enemy has been slain.
nice.
An ally has been slain.
I'm gonna run.
That's what's called the kill
Damn.
stick.
Has been slain.
That's what's called a kill steal, yeah. You don't want to be doing that to jungling, basically.
Yeah, as jungler, you take the kill if there's a chance that the person will get away, then you just blow everything up.
Yeah. So at the moment I do admittedly have 2 kills, and 3 assists, which isn't too bad.
Yeah. And people can't really yell at you that much for kill stealing if you have more assists than kills.
Yeah. That's a general rule. If people are yelling at you for kill stealing, kills, just ignore them. Because they're most likely idiots. And then if they're in real trouble and they're just annoying the hell out of you, don't gank their lane. Unless, of course, you're in a PvP match now. It matters. I mean, generally...
It's like an enemy jungler, so you've got to...
I just keep on going in at this Ashe and sending her back running because I get her down to 50 health, but she's behind the turret then, so I can't finish her off.
In that case, no one was going to get the kill, so I took it. This is called baiting. Nice.
Thank you. I like Trundle. Gonna buy him after Rengar.
Trundle's OP. But,
I know.
so for your first evolution, I recommend evolving Claws, unless you're having severe problems, in which case evolve. Just go straight for evolving Spikegrags. I don't tend to evolve ult, because I personally feel that the ult isn't fantastic.
Although some people in high up levels do evolve it.
Although some people will just swear by evolving their ults.
The reason is if the people are isolated, the KhaZix gains the passive of basically he does more damage if they're isolated. His ulti can force that in by giving him the unseen threats.
Basically, unseen threat is KhaZix's passive. I'll go more over jungling just purely basically with KhaZix. Basically, KhaZix's passive, when he cannot be seen by the enemy team, which is basically when he's in a bush or he's in the enemy fog of war, which is this stuff here, you can't see into it. Or when he activates his ult because he comes unseen, he'll gain a stack of unseen threat, which is this thing here. Basically means his next basic attack, or if you've evolved your Void Spike, it'll be if you hit something with your Void Spike, will consume unseen threat and do bonus magic damage and a slow. Which basically means if you fight KhaZix in the jungle, you won't get away with it.
Unless you're casting.
Unless you're a caster.
That means you won't get away from him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can't really run very far.
Well, Ashe just came at me, ran off with 100 health.
Now, when you're ganking, patience is key. At the moment, bot lane probably isn't a fantastic lane to gank, down to the fact that there's now 2 people in it. Get away, get away.
Which is why mid lane is a favourite for getting ganked.
Nice. Right, so that was a double kill, which wasn't too bad. Do you want this blue, Henry, or can I have it?
You can have it. I don't need it much.
No.
I've been auto attacking a lot, and I've casting. You gain mana for every auto attack. Graves
Right.
come in.
Now, KhaZix's W, well, KhaZix's Q. Exceedingly low mana cost, it stays at 25 mana for the entire game, and is normally on a 3.5 second
really?
cooldown for the entire game. Which is nice. It's very nice. Not entirely sure how to but basically it has a passive which marks people who are isolated. So you see this ring here? That means they're isolated. That means I'll do increased damage to them if I use the move on them. Now, at the moment I haven't got an isolated champion in Radius because it doesn't show them across the entire map. But, basically...
Unstoppable.
Nice. When you see here, it says deals X amount of physical damage, which increases with the level, obviously, and it scales off your total attack damage, which is over here. Now, if they're isolated, which I'll try and get to show you when I get to top height in a minute. That's a hint. Basically, it increases the damage. It increases the base damage and the scaling, which is really nice. If you've then evolved in large claws, the damage increase. You also gain that damage, the isolation damage. If they're isolated, you'll gain that damage plus 12% of their missing health.
A lot.
Sorry, I was only trying to get that down. There you go. Now he's isolated.
Don't worry, I wasn't gonna get him. I was just let you get him. Let me hold you, minion.
Bane is up, stupid.
Now I've got the second point in my ultimate. It's really down to you what to evolve now. I mean, you can evolve Spike Racks, which basically gives you a different way of...
I just tower dived.
Which is basically a different way of poking people. It does quite a lot of damage, it's pretty nice. Or you can evolve Wings. I personally evolve Wings last, because that's when I've got the most damage output. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to evolve Wings second.
If you're playing KhaZix mid lane, not the jungle, often you find people evolve the Spike Rack.
Yeah, if you're playing solo top or mid lane as KhaZix, you will generally take... you'll generally evolve Spike Racks first. Mainly because, other than his W, he has no ranged poke. So now's probably a good time to go over his W. It fires exploding spikes, which are these things, which deal physical damage. Now, those also heal me, as you can see, if I'm within the explosion radius, which is pretty nice. That's boosted by my AP, as you can see, the green scaling means AP, but for God's sake, don't build AP habits. I just don't build AP KhaZix. It doesn't work. I've tried it. Now, I'm actually using a skin, which is the Mecha KhaZix skin, as Eljules just so kindly reminded me.
It's not what he normally looks like.
It's not what he normally looks like. He normally looks purplish. But personally, I prefer this skin to the normal one because hey,
all champions from the Void are generally purplish.
yeah,
Like
basically most of them. Yeah. Well, and if you evolve Spike Racks, which I'll show you like 16 get there, he ends up firing free in a kind of spread. Now, what I'm currently doing here is taking Dragon. Dragon is one of the main jungling objectives of the game. You want to take Dragon whenever you can. He respawns every 6 minutes, so you want to take note of what time he died at. So you can see it's 17:56 is the time he died at, so he'll be respawning at 23:56. Keep that in mind. So, although I probably won't actually get to
Twice the soda.
23:56. Right, so I'm going to go back to base, get my Bloodthirster, which is the main item you really want to build on KhaZix, because it's overpowered as hell. And then I'm going to end up getting boots at some point. In fact, I'm going to sell Hunter's Machete right now, because I don't really need it. KhaZix is one of the best late game jungling champions in the game. He can end up with about 2-second clear times. A clear time is how long it takes you to basically kill all the minions in a jungle camp, as they're called, which is basically, that's a camp, that's a camp, that's a camp, you get the idea. So that's Wraith camp, that's Wolves camp, that's Blue buff. It's called Blue buff because it's a slightly special. Yeah, then you've got the two main objectives, as Eljules kind of reminds me. I've already killed one, that's Baron, who was Dragon, who was here, and then you've got Baron Nashor, who you can see here. He is exceedingly tough. Do not solo this guy. I repeat, do not solo this guy.
Unless,
what happened?
Because this happens.
Unless you're a Fiddlesticks
Unless you're a
with
Fiddlesticks
blue
and
buff
Thornmail.
and Thornmail.
That's the only thing we know that can solo Baron. Apart from a Trindam.
Trindy.
But Trindam is
ADE.
hilarious.
ADE when fully maxed out.
Yeah,
But Fiddlesticks is the best.
Do not try to solo Baron in general. Basically.
Unless you have a Death Wish.
Unless you have a sincere death wish.
like Peter a couple of games ago.
Yeah. That was entertaining.
Oh, it's bored, okay.
Now you can see
Oh,
it's
wow.
isolated on minions because they'll have this little red target.
Eric's going to die.
Okay, he's
No,
not.
this bot's a big stupid. That's a kill steal.
This all I did was
At the-
literally get one hit off on him.
Yeah.
Double kill.
Nice.
So kind to the carry on.
I'm also a carry.
Yeah,
I'm a
he's
hyper carry
he's an AP
assassin.
hyper carry. Right, so
I'm a troll.
more about the different. Well, about Leap. Leap stays at 50 mana the entire game. At level 1, if you've got no cooldown reduction, it has a 24-second cooldown. Yeah. Either that is 22 seconds, I can't remember. But at the moment, I've got 29% cooldown reduction from Boots and Brutalizer.
You're welcome.
I've also got 4.
Would have gone anyway, but don't want.
I've also got 4% off monsters, which I
Wait.
will try and review at a later date. But basically, you don't want to max your leap first. When we say maxing, we mean putting points into skills. We assume you know already how to do this. But basically, you want to max your Taste Their Fear first for jungle, because it does so much damage and it's already just shot down. Then you want to max W, because hey, it heals you and it's nice. Take a leap, a ranking leap at either level 3 or 4, depends if you need to gank early or not. And then go from there. Really, you can pretty much build whatever you want. You just max that first, and then max
Double kill.
W, which I've currently done. I'm now level 13, which is pretty nice across our team. Highest level is Hyper Carry, who is level 15.
And I was so annoying as a hyper
Yeah,
carry.
he was soloing as a Hyper Carry.
Ended.
Thing is,
Yeah, but Bane's OP.
there you go. That's putting a point into skills, basically.
And I'm just running around killing stuff.
Now, what Evolved Wings gives you is greater range on it. So before I wouldn't be able. I think I would just be able to leap over this wall, but now I can just easily like that. Unfortunately, that has been to not kill Graves. But oh well. I don't care. I'll still.
Which is one thing Casper's got back with
Reporting is basically just the act of, well, at the end of the game there's this thing which is a red exclamation mark and it says report this player, and then you report them for something that they did during the game that either annoyed
Or
you,
didn't do.
didn't do for that matter,
like save your life.
like saving your life,
Or play.
or play at all for that matter. There are some people in
That's
this
what's called
game who
report.
will do that. There are quite a few quite irritating people in the League of Legends.
There are also people who try and tell you how to jungle when you are doing pretty well.
There are also quite a few bad junglers. I'm probably one of them. If I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fantastic jungler, but
At the moment.
Me,
I do my best. Let's put it that way.
I just just use spells.
Now they're just loading Graves' face off.
Just waiting for all my cooldown so I could literally just blow them straight up.
Right, so I'm level 14, near to 16. Remember, you get your ultimate ranks whenever you can. Those are ways. These are set for every champion except a very small few, like Karma and Elise, for example.
Elise just has an extra point which
Yeah,
starts off
basically.
level 1. You
And
can
then
still
you get
sit
your ultimate ranks at level 6, 11, and 16. Remember that. So it's basically every 5 levels. Would anyone like blue buff? No, you're actually too far away to get blue buff, really.
so no one gets away.
So there you go, look. He's back up. Dragon is back up. Again, you can solo this guy. It's actually worth soloing this guy. I'm trying to find where it said that he... There it is. There it is. 1756. Right, so now it should be a hell of a lot easier than your last time. As you've seen, I haven't used Smite in ages.
late game smite's useful for when you're in team fights, but trying to secure Baron. Because often teams will fight over Baron, and then it's the jungler's job to try and smite it out from the other team.
Would you like me to kill Sona?
Might as well.
Unfortunately, she wasn't isolated, so I was about half my damage there.
Which is why if you're playing against the casting, you always move around with pairs.
You mean KhaZix? Also, another nice thing about Evolving Leap is the fact that it resets the cooldown on Champion Killer Assist, which basically means end game you can literally get Pentas just running around holding people's faces off. How the hell did he see me then? He still missed, but... Right, as you can see, I'm approaching level 16, and then I'll evolve Spike Rex. Remember, the act of evolving something takes about roughly a second.
So it's not that easy to evolve that you get for team fights.
Yeah, don't evolve in the middle of team fights. I repeat, do not evolve in the middle of team fights. It doesn't work. Or in the middle of being hit by the tower, for that matter. Now, you might notice that every time I evolve something, it changes my character's visual appearance. So now you can see my blades are sort of like bigger and translucent-ish. I have sort of spikes on my back, and for God's sake, look at me. I have huge wings! Look at them. So now I'm just going to go base and start working towards my Iceborne Gauntlet because I find it hilarious. Because Iceborne Gauntlet means no one can run for you. Even more than they could before.
Unless they're casting.
Unless they're casting.
Trundle could if you're a noob.
So at the moment I'm running
Or a
around...
ninja.
At the moment I'm running around 300 AD, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's not
Thanks,
fantastic.
Henry.
Graves, do it!
No, he already used his ult on me, so...
What's the minions farm?
Ow. That's stuck.
Oh, I go after that stuff for you.
That's how much damage KhaZix can do.
That was my damage.
We're all
It's the
legendary.
kill. But now's about the time
I've got
where
most
really
kills though.
you don't need to be bothering about feeding your team kills unless you're... Yeah. Guys, take Baron just to show them what it's like.
Wait, I'll heal up off the minions at top.
Right, so...
Wait, can I get my blood first?
Yes, you can.
And as in casted, I don't really bother about wolves.
But yeah, so here we are. This is
Don't
Baron
try
Nash.
jungling as casting.
Do not try jungling as Cassidy. It doesn't work. We've tried it, it really doesn't.
It takes you about a minute to do blue buff.
He ended up level 3 when we were level 6. It was pretty bad, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, your ult is actually incredibly useful for ganking, because it means they can't see you for that 1 more second, assuming they haven't got wards. That is actually unbelievably powerful. If you think about it, but I still don't evolve
Don't
my
steal.
ult. 'cause
I
don't
need
like
it for the money.
Oh.
So now's roughly about the time where jungling sort of ends, because I think there's 2 coming our way. This is primarily because of stupid Sonabots. Oh, I was going to nick that. I only got 8 gold from that assist.
Be ready to destroy Baron's face.
Right, destroy
Right, I'm
Baron's
coming.
face off. Henry, you're tanking, because you've got the
No.
advantage of any of us.
No, I'm the tanky one. Fine then.
I am not the tank.
There you go.
Legendary.
Then I'm gonna go get Ash.
Legendary.
Which is
I'm going to clear out mid lane. So now you can see we've got Exalted with Baron Nashor. That means we've got bonus.
Did you just see how much damage I did?
That's the problem about playing late game with the
Free
They-
carries, basically. Free assassins on a team.
I just did about 3/4 of Ash's health.
apart from in a team fight, I'm the one that doesn't get the multiple kills, because I have to wait about 8 seconds between assassinating someone.
But yeah, Exalted with Baron Nashor, which means that you get crazy mana and health regen. This stuff, the mana regen isn't as great as blue buff, but it's still good. For the record, blue buff gives you around 8-ish if you've got no other mana regen on you. And then it also gives you increased AD and ability power. I think it's 40 of each by default.
Who killed Alan?
Okay, we won't get inhibitors.
I also didn't mention that his passive scales with half of his AP, which is why I thought that AP KhaZix might actually work. It doesn't. Don't even try it. It really doesn't work. But yeah, I'm level 17 now. I've got 8 kills under my belt and 12 assists.
And because we've been killing them so much, the bots are only about level 10 still.
Yeah, I won't be able to get a kill when I'm with you lots.
Yes.
No.
Because you have so much burst.
She literally just melted.
They all melt. We're assassins.
I'm not. I'm trolled.
And now we're just taking out inhibitors, basically. We just run around and open their faces.
This is the bot game,
This is still a 4v5.
because this is a bot game.
So now you must just assume the normal role of kill
Kill
everything
everything.
KhaZix. Basically,
Troller.
that's how it works in this game. You literally just
Destroy everything.
destroy everything. I mean, KhaZix like multiple places. Look at that damage. That wasn't even isolated, and that does nearly 500. That does over 500 damage.
Hey Dave, stand still.
Really, I used my ult and I got none of those. Yeah, your ult stealths you for 1 second, increases your casual speed by 40% while it's stealth.
One's health, like, it's
Bane is a really easy champ to get 10 kills with.
You could then also stealth yourself again within 10 seconds. But yeah, so this has been my guide to jungling with KhaZix, and I'm still only half built. Thank you very much for watching,
And goodbye.
and we will see you
Victory!
next time.